Hey guys, what's up? It is Nocturnal Gaming here, and today we are going to cover the June monthly event called the Old Sovereigns. Go to your news and announcements, and you'll see the event notification, and you'll see the equipment that is being offered in this event. So you get the RF Sheepfall. This is the same class of ship as the RF Lighter, and then you got the FS Normandy, which is an Aquitaine class, so they're going to look identical to the previous class ships. You got the M47 Sea Striker, which is it's like an upgraded AFGS. It's kind of like HPLS and LY1 in the AA department. This is kind of like AFGS is upgrade in the autocannon torpedo defense department. Very good autocannon. Got the RBU 1200. And of course, as always, you got some flags and camo. This is in the special event. We'll cover those in a little bit. And then some of the avatars and whatnot for either the stages or the leaderboards. I really like this Franz. I think that's one of the better ones of this one. Not crazy about the other ones too much. And then some decals, which I care nothing about, and some titles, which I care absolutely nothing about. So, yeah, let me, as always with these events, you have the 13 stages. They did give a reward this time instead of recycling one of the existing pieces of equipment. I know they had a lot of backlash from that. So this time it is the RBU 1200 monthly event reward. We'll cover that here in a little bit. And then you have the 13 stages. You complete the stages by completing missions. You can get the event points from the event points tab. They have a free one. You can buy them. And then if you're on a device, you can watch an ad every 2 hours for 1,000. This one's 300, resets every 6 hours. This one resets every 2 hours and costs 300 gold. I generally do that. And then under the event missions, this is where you reset those, and so you can get some points to advance those stages. If you don't want to advance the stages, you can go to special offers, and you can just buy the ship outright for $100. If you finish the stages, it's going to reduce the price down to $40 for the bundle ship. And then, of course, the camo, usually pretty decent. They have this one is the Total Power. Usually a pretty decent camo with the monthly events. This one's no exception. Pretty decent camo, good animation on it. Not my favorite one, but it is a pretty decent camo. I did buy it. And with that as well, you get the 35 keys, and you get the flag. It's better to... Not bad. Pretty good on those. And so you go to your activities. This is your pay-to-win gacha. You have the FS Normandy, which we talked about already. The autocannon. The Hi-Fly 2 nuke is back, so that was good to see that return. That's a really good laser-guided missile. One of the highest damage missiles in the game in the laser-guided department. You got the Tin Show, which is a pretty interesting cannon. I don't use it a ton, but the burst is really high. It actually is a pretty decent cannon. I use it on the Ningbo for a bit. So pretty solid offering there. And then if you go to their free-to-play gacha, not very excited about what they put in the offering here. The PLZ is back. This is a rerun. This one was out previously. I forget the month exactly. It has very good area damage, good range on it. It's not my top pick. I like the Crusader, but it does have really good area damage on it. The Tiger Shark was reintroduced as well. Not super excited about that one either. It's, I'd say, on the lower end of torpedoes. I did sell mine with buyout as soon as I got them because I don't need them. And then the Prelay is being offered again, and this was an event reward at one point in time. It's now being offered in the free-to-play gacha. On paper, this thing looks really good. The durability is really high, but in reality, I just don't find that I like it that much. So kind of middle of the road. I mean, it's not terrible, but there are other missiles that I like more. It's good. The problem that I always ran into with this one is the range was a bit less than I liked. because I was doing some distance sniping and things like that. It is a good missile. It's 350 durability. It's one of the highest durability missiles in the game. It fires 3 rounds per salvo. So it is good. I don't recall the reload being that long. We'll look it up here in a little bit. So it is a decent missile. It's just not my top pick. So, but I like laser guided. That's kind of been my focus these days, is going more LGM when I can. So I've already added the Normandy and the Aquitaine to the comparison. A little bit, same ship format, a little bit higher durability on the Aquitaine, but overall the hull and the aesthetic look of the ship is the same. I did load them out with kind of a similar loadout just so I can do a comparison. I used the Mako, the Mica, and the Mar 290 when I had an unlocked GL. So looking at this, the total burst damage on the Normandy is a bit higher than the Aquitaine. The potential DPM is a good bit higher as well. Surface DPM is higher for the Aquitaine. Aerial is higher. Aerial, underwater, durability are all higher on the Aquitaine. The Normandy is a little bit faster, coming in at 31.3. Maneuverability is the same. View range is the same. I mean, like, its stats are the same, except for the movement penalty. A little bit less on the Normandy. Otherwise, they're very similar in layout. Recon data is the same as well. So really, it's going to come down to kind of a matter of preference. Both of these are gacha ships. The Aquitaine hasn't been alphaed in quite a while. I haven't really seen it. So if you don't have the Aquitaine, it's a good chance to get something that's kind of similar. Aquitaine and everything, the torpedo is locked. You have an X1 torpedo slot. But the GL's an X3, the missile's an X3, and the cannon is an X1. I forgot to change his cannon, and he told me that in chat, and I just totally ignored him. So let me go check that again. I think this is going to raise its stats a bit. Let me take that off of the 32. Let's go look at that again real quick, just to see the... Yeah, so that did change the... It made us the surface DPM a bit higher. Potential still higher on the Normandy. It did close that gap a little bit, so not a huge change there, but so they did split this out. Instead of an X3, you have 2 X2 slots on the missiles. I kind of like this format. It's similar to the Shiloh, which I really like. Gives me a chance to use an AA missile if I want to use that, and another missile like a striker or spammer or whatever. X1 cannon, the GL is kind of locked, and we're going to cover this one. I did play with the ship a little bit during Clan Wars yesterday, and I found the arc to be really high. So when stuff was moving, I mean, it was good for getting over targets, but if the target was moving, I hadn't used it long enough to really get good with it to hit those targets when it's lobbing so far. The fly time was a long time, so speed was pretty good. Let me compare this to... Let's go clear that. Let's go over to... Just want to compare it to the Mar and see what we're looking at here. I mean, DPM is a lot higher. Burst is a lot higher. Reload's faster. So, I mean, on paper, the stats are a lot better. It may just be a thing like the area damage is higher. So, overall, it may be much better. And I just haven't gotten the feel for it yet. So, I'm going to... withhold comment on that. I'm not going to judge it too much yet because I just haven't. I think with any of these ships that are brand new, you need to use them at least 10 times to really start getting the feel of it. So the Stratus RS, what is that on? Yeah, we may as well throw the Prelay on here. I have a bunch of them and take a look at it real quick. Never can find anything. It's too many. I don't like the scrolling. Oh, the Stratus RS. Yeah, we'll talk about that one. Is that another? It looks like a cluster. Another cluster missile. I don't know. I haven't used it yet. Not sure why I haven't used it yet. So. Because it's not available in ranked. That's why I haven't used it yet. So that's about the only mode I play. So until it's available in ranked, I really don't use the equipment very often. So I'm going to throw a Prelay in there. We'll throw a Prelay in the X2 over here. On Yeah, instead of the Mako, still Prele. Go check these out again. I'm gonna clear everything. Yep, and let's go look. Yeah, still. Actually, that closed the gap a bit more. It's really it's within 100 now with the Prele on there. So that did change the stats a good bit. The aerial went down because of the, yeah, it was a big change in the aerial though, because I'm not running an AA missile on the Aquitaine. So it did drop its aerial capability down quite a bit. Now, if I was using the Aquitaine, I would use the Mark 42 personally. And I guess I could set that up because I wouldn't run an AA missile. I wouldn't waste an X3 slot with an AA missile necessarily. I would just run the Mark 42 to cover the air and then have a striker missile. So it's kind of been my go-to. I like if you have the Mark 42 or even the Mark 45 4B, I like the anti-air cannons better than the missiles. I find that I get like a loop lock with the anti-air missiles. The exception is going to be the Akash, which I don't have on this account yet. That one seems to do a pretty good job of taking down planes. But, like the HQ-26, I can fire, 5 of those things at a plane and still not take the thing down. So it's a bit annoying. And I find that I have a better chance of taking, especially helicopters down with something like the Mark 42. The planes kind of depends on what maneuvering they're doing. But even then, I'll take it down faster with a cannon than I will with the AA missile. So let's go do a test drive in the Normandy here real quick. And I'll show you what I mean about the GL. It is a dry fire GO, which I like. You can just shoot it anywhere you aim it. It's going to fire. So I do like that. Oh, that didn't seem to be that high. So I don't know if that was just, I don't know. I was using it in Clan Wars. It seemed really high. Maybe that was just me. The Micah is going to be the better option. I don't use it a lot yet because it's not available in ranked, but Micah is going to be the better choice. And then I think the Akash is going to be even, it's a gacha. And that's the thing with gacha equipment. If you do a lot of tournaments, you don't get a lot of chances to use those. So the Micah is going to be certainly the go-to there. I mean, 63,000, it is flareable, but not bad reload on that. Yeah, it's just, if they allow gacha equipment or not, and that's not a lot of tours. It quite frankly, with tours that allow it, I prefer tours that have higher restrictions on equipment than looser, restrictions on equipment. I'd rather play with dollar gold shop stuff than with gacha stuff personally. So, but yeah, overall not bad. This GL's not firing like, I don't know. I guess it's not that bad. I don't know why it seemed like it was shooting so high. Good grouping on that too. Let me do my little mass test here and see. That's how I kind of test. I mean, the accuracy is really good. And you can tag some. Oh, I see that. See how that went way in the air that time? It went way over. I guess it's because it wasn't. I was trying to hit a mass. That's exactly what happens. I just saw it just then. So I was trying to hit, it was just a small piece sticking out. And so it went like super high in the air, like way out there. But if it gets the mast in view, it's going straight. So that's what was happening. It just didn't have enough to lock onto there. Because yeah, I mean, that's really good accuracy with that. So forget what I said earlier. It's actually pretty on point. It was just situationally, I didn't have that much of the ship exposed to try to hit. And so yeah, you see some of them move there. It went way up. So yeah, not bad. What was the damage on that? I mean, 83,000. That's, I'm gonna call that pretty decent. Ship is fast. The maneuverability is good on both of them. So good ship. I like it a lot. Aquitaine was one of my favorite frigates for quite some time. Looks like this one is going to be a big improvement on the A and whatnot. So it's going to be a good one, especially if you don't have the Aquitaine already, which hasn't been run that many times. I think this is a good one to go for. That's I don't know if it's going to be offered again with a deal with the shadow or not. Hard to say on that. Like some stuff, seems to come around a lot, and then some stuff you just don't see that often. So moving on to the lighter and the Shikfall. Scroll. So I'm going to do a compare on this one and the lighter. Where is the lighter? There we go. And let me do my mica. I do the prelay again since it's in the event. If I can find it. I don't have enough LY1s to go around on that, so I'm going to do an HPLS and an LY, I guess. Or we'll do an HPLS and Alka a little more. I don't know how many actually have LY. They could have put them closer together since they're the same boat. They put them kind of far apart. Just scroll past it, didn't I? I thought it was at the end there. Here we go. See, on this one, I would run the Mark 42. I'd absolutely run the Mark because I wouldn't want to run an AA missile on the other one. And you get the split GL. So that's kind of a dealer's choice on that. I don't know. I'm going to do the 290. I would probably still run 290s personally. But if you want to do a lock on and a manual, that would be an option. So you can switch that cannon over. Running the cannon with 2 prelays actually might not be that bad. I don't know. I wish I'd do that. Let's see here. We got Dude, what am I doing on the wrong boat? Gosh. Too many. I need these, like, yeah, man, why'd I do that? Just undid one. There we go. All right. Oh, there's nothing to swap, is there? Let me install something. I have one available. There we go. I never even used this. It got upgraded. They added a slot and never added anything to it. Friend was using lighter yesterday and actually was doing really well. So I need to take a look at it again. All right, let's go check out comparison. All right, so total burst damage, semi-similar setup, a little bit higher on the Sheikfall, 586 to 533. Potential DPM is actually higher on the lighter with the setup that I have currently. It's going to vary a bit. Surface DPM is higher on the lighter, aerial higher with the Sheikfall. That's because it's got more AA, so that is a significant advantage there in my book on the new one. I prefer more AA personally. Underwater's pretty close for 973 to 926 durability, 494, a little bit higher there, 30K. Speed's a little bit faster, maneuverability a little bit better. View range is same. Aerial surface is better. Pretty close. Movement penalty is a little bit less. Stealth is pretty much the same. I did like this boat, the new one. Used it a little bit and was pretty happy with it. Doing big damage when we were using it in matches. I like that X4. I like the flexibility of that X4. And you're not really losing as much, say like on the Maya where you have an X4 autocannon and you switch it out, you've only got like an X2 AA slot. So this is considerably better if you decide to go with the AFGS or the other autocannon. You're not losing as much as you would with the Maya. Maya, you kind of like exposing yourself a bit there. So pretty awesome little ship, gotta say. Is it gonna stay that way? I don't know. That's anybody's guess on that. So you can already see it's just going crazy as soon as you go in here. There's stuff flying everywhere. So I mean, it's gonna do some damage. So I think it's pretty solid. It's certainly, as far as bundles that come out, I do like it a lot. It's just my initial playing with it. Definitely can definitely throw some damage downrange. So. I love that X4 slot too. That's much nicer than the X2 most of the time, because I like the, if you have like the high fly to nuke or any other, even another LGM, like that's some serious damage coming out of an X4. Really like that a lot. It's got enough AA to compensate for it. So yeah, great boat. Highly recommend it. Certainly going to be a factor when it's allowed in ranked and things like that. Certainly can't complain about having more AA in the current meta. So, bot slate over here. Yeah, let me look at that. So get to the stats here real quick. Range is 3.9, which is pretty comfortable. Speed is 777. What's the detonation radius? Got a little bit. I like a little bit higher there, but not bad. This one is 498, which is kind of like the it's that other autocannon, Comor. Comar's got something like almost a 5 kilometer range. The Alga's around that. Oh no, the KSAM is 5 kilometers. This was 325. I think if you're intercepting missiles, you want a little bit shorter range. If you're wanting it to potentially hit planes or helicopters, you want the longer range there. So I think it's going to be probably more focused on aircraft. Obviously, it's going to hit missiles as well if that's what's coming in. Haven't played with it enough to see like what its preference is. X2 and an X1 missile here, so that's another 4.9. That's going to be kind of an anti-plane, I would think. This one's the range on this one is 8.67. That's really far. I don't know of an AA like a locked AA that has a range that far. That's actually pretty decent. Speed's not super fast. I'm curious about this one, so. So yeah, overall, pretty good event this month. I'm glad to see that they did give another, even if they recycle this item and put like the Finis or something that's been, the Mark 42. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. There's a lot of items that were in the monthly event rewards that haven't been out in a while that I think were good. The R-Hound's really good. So if you're gonna recycle an item, I would prefer it to be, an item like the another monthly event reward that hasn't been running in a long time. There's a bunch of good stuff out there. Seawolf was another AA. So I'd prefer them to do something like that other than say like the Room 162. I think they had a revolt about that. So people are not very happy with it. I understand what they were trying to do with it and give more AC and whatnot, but I think they need to give a little bit more to the free-to-play community. I seems they raised the prices on some things and whatnot. I know they took used to be able to get they had the keys back here, so you can get keys here now. What was one of the events they removed the option to get the keys from the free, and then they took the AC option away in the deal with the shadow. So I'm not crazy about those moves. I do want to see a vibrant free to play community. Obviously, I understand they need the pay to win people to support the game and whatnot, but I think you need a big pay to win community. You need a lot of support there, so they need to balance that out somehow. But overall, like the event. Tandem, which is always a great mode to play. I like Tandem. So one of the better events in my opinion. It's Escort to me gets a bit boring after a while, so I do enjoy Tandem a good bit more than Escort. So Escort seems very repetitive. So that's it. That's the Old Sovereigns monthly event for June. Yeah, check it out. At least get the free event reward. I know I didn't cover the GO that much. Let me go look at that real quick before we go. GO wasn't bad. Seemed kind of in between the. Let me go do a comparison here real quick. The reload wasn't too bad on it, and there's the Arhan. I really like this Arhan too. That was a really good GO. I was using it in tours where they allow that. So a little bit higher DPM than you had with the Arhan. The Arhan speed's going to be faster. It's one of the fastest GLs actually in the game. Really like that one a lot. So, pretty decent stats overall with the 1200. DPM's kind of in the middle of the road there. Burst is a little bit lower than the Arhan, but the reload is really fast, which is a big plus. It's a manual fire, so you could shoot it at torpedoes. So overall, it's a much better offering than the Room 162 was. So happy to see them putting actual gear back in there as well. Area damage is an advantage over the Arhan here. So overall, not bad. Range is 10 is reasonable for a GL. Even though the range on this one's 11 or 13, I don't know that you're hitting a lot of stuff at 13 kilometers, especially if it's moving. It's kind of tough with the Arhan, the way it shoots. It takes a couple seconds to fire all the rounds, so you have to continually move it, leading any target that's moving. So it's kind of hard to hit. moving targets with that one. So I don't know how effective you're going to be at 13 kilometers anyway. So overall, yeah, pretty decent offering. I like the event so far. I think you're going to see this. You're going to see this ship a lot. I'm glad that this was the bundle and not the gacha ship. So it does make it attainable for more people. Be able to get it on the market. It's fantastic. So good call on that one. I shout out to the devs. I think this was a good one for this month. And yeah, it's going to conclude my write-up. Post in the comments and let me know what you think about it and what your experience has been with the items this month. Have any suggestions for a video or anything, let me know. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them in the comments. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.